Hello and welcome back to our digital Jazz Ahead here, the second day. And yes, it is International Jazz Day, and we are really proud and happy, excited, jazzed to be an official partner of International Jazz Day. This very morning, we had a guest here from the US, Jeff Levinson, who was talking to us about the Herbie Hancock Institute in Washington and its many endeavors and what Jazz Day, International Jazz Day is all about and how this combination got together. We're really celebrating it today with some live bands from here, right on stage downstairs. Heidi Bayer and Virtual League are already waiting for their next gig. We have a great concert from Connie Hahn, originally from LA, for us later. Nia K will again be playing live here, a super great quartet from Cologne. And then, I mean, as this is, we're celebrating 100 years of Astor Piazzolla, we have the grandson of Piazzolla with Escalandrum from Argentina today as well. Lucia von Weel from Switzerland. You heard me kind of messing that up because it's very hard to say German or Swiss names when you're speaking English and then go back to your native tongue. But we'll get to her later on, and then I will say Lucia von Wühl. Ron Minus, an incredible guy. Maybe you're one of the 9 million people who saw his video about wanting to be Slash, but having Russian parents who tell you that you actually need to learn the piano. Johanna Zummer, who's also playing the piano. I don't think there are any Slash things there, but she released a wonderful album and will also be with us in a short interview after her Schumann Kaleidoscope solo concert. Stina Barta from Czech Republic, Chris Davis from Canada. Wow, it's a full day of celebration and getting together and music here at the Jazz Ahead 2021. And without further ado, I will give over to my colleague Peter Schulze, who's down there on stage with real live musicians right now and will introduce the band.
So, welcome back to the stage at Jazz Ahead, which is a real stage, and we have real music, we have real live music, and we are looking forward to it. Because the German Jazz Expo is always an important part of the Jazz Ahead showcases, and we have 2 German bands live here today. Cologne is one of the centers of jazz in Germany, and we have 2 bands from Cologne this time. Heidi Bayer, originally she is from Bavaria, but she moved to Cologne in 2015 and built her group Virtual League. And here is Heidi Bayer's Virtual League, and enjoy. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in and listening to our showcase. We are a virtual league, and we are really happy to be part of this year's Jazz Ahead. You're listening to Karl Degenhardt on drums, Lisa Wulff on bass, and Johannes Ludwig on alto saxophone. My name is Heidi Bayer. We started with a tune called Alpha Blues, and that's also part of our first record we released last year. And we'll continue with 2 other songs from that record, and they are entitled Something Different and Hedwig's Flight. Have fun. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you for listening, for watching, and a big thanks to the whole team of Jazzahead for making this great online edition happen. And yeah, this was Karl Degenhardt on drums, Lisa Wulff on bass, Johannes Ludwig on alto saxophone, Heidi Bayer on trumpet. We want to close this set with another piece of mine that's called If It Helps. Thanks again, and yeah, have a nice evening.
Virtual League live here on our stage in the ÖVB Arena in Bremen at Jazzahead. It is still International Jazz Day, declared by the UNESCO, and I must admit, even though I did a half-hour interview with Jeff Levinson this morning about International Jazz Day, I had to really look up what UNESCO means. I mean, we all kind of think we know what it is, but it is the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Jazz. I mean, what do you want? It's International Jazz Day, and Herbie Hancock earlier on posted something on social media. I had to go on Facebook and Instagram after I saw Barry Sporen and Jacques Figueras talking about how to optimize your social media business especially for festival people, but it's basically for everybody. And I remember one question by someone who said, I'm stuck at 10,000 followers on Instagram. It's like 10,000 followers on Instagram in the jazz world? That's like, I don't know. Does Michael Jackson have that many? No, but it's a lot, I think, in comparison. But anyways, so I posted to Herbie because he was asking, what are you doing on International Jazz Day? I posted what we're doing here and that we're doing it with him and for him and with this International Jazz Day. I'll keep you updated on whether or not he reacts and whether or not he likes my social media nickname, which is the reason I was struggling with saying Herbie Hancock so much because well, now it's out there. It's Herbie Hitchcock. So here I am, Herbie Hitchcock, congratulating Herbie Hancock on this International Jazz Day and trying to make good time because we're waiting for Heidi Bayer and Johannes Ludwig, her saxophonist. The two of them were just downstairs with Lisa Wulff on bass. Wow, that was great, wasn't it? And Karl Degenhardt on drums, virtual league Heidi Bayer. They're going to be up here in a little bit of time. Afterwards, we'll have the incredible Connie Hahn with a pre-recorded bit she did for us. I believe she's in New York now, even though her label, Mac Avenue, isn't, and she's from LA. But maybe we'll find that out during the piece she sent us. And there's so much more to discover during these upcoming days of Jazz Ahead. And there she is. Even though she's a masked crusader still, I can see Heidi Bayer. She still has the mask on. She'll take it off, and if she wants, yep. Well, she's coming up. There she is. I feel like a sports presenter.
Hello.
Hello, Heidi
Nice to meet
Bayer.
you. Hello.
Thank you very much. That was quick.
Yeah, I'm really
How do you
out of
feel?
breath. So maybe you could tell something now.
I was already talking for like a couple of minutes, but
okay.
no,
Okay.
I really enjoyed your show. I can say
Thank you
that.
very much. Thanks.
It was great to see also how the four of you interacted. I've seen a couple of virtual league videos. Lisa Wulff really looked different in those.
She looked different, or she played
She was
different?
a guy. Sorry,
Yes.
but.
Got you.
But I really liked what you were doing, and I liked how the songs came across because, of course, I know your album. I've listened to the music, even though it came out right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes.
It was
Perfect
still
timing.
out there. Yeah, it was not so perfect timing for you, I guess. The way
Yes,
you said it
ironic.
had a bit of an edge. How was that for you? I mean, you had the band, you founded it in
2019.
Yeah, so it's been a
Or was
long
it
time coming, right?
Yes, you mean how it was like with the Corona situation for us? I mean, yeah, it was. Of course, it was hard, but it was hard for all of us. So, that
So you're
made it-
suffering with the whole gang, so that's fine.
So, yeah, of course, some gigs were cancelled, and we couldn't perform that much last year. But we had a couple of nice performances, so it was really something,
Yeah.
at least. So, yeah.
There's a song on there, actually, the last song you played. If it helps,
yeah.
it could kind of be a Corona commentary.
Yeah,
there's
but
so many.
actually, it's about chocolate. So, yeah.
See,
but,
I knew why I like that
Yes.
song. Are you more the dark chocolate or a milk chocolate person?
I'm a milk chocolate, but the guy who's coming now, he's a dark chocolate person, and that often clashes because we don't find a chocolate for both of us. Yeah.
Well, it's much better because that way you won't eat the other's chocolate. I find it's perfect because I have two young daughters.
Yeah, that's
One
right.
is
I
totally
never
into milk
thought about
chocolate,
that.
the other's into dark chocolate.
Yeah, you were into dark chocolate, so he proposed that we should just buy two different sorts of
A chocolate connoisseur. Yeah, let's talk chocolate. No, the reason it came up, and welcome Johannes Ludwig.
Thank you very much.
The reason it came up is because I said that if it helps, it could be a right Corona commentary song. You know, there are a lot of things where you can say like, if it helps, you know. But
Sure, yeah, that's very true.
so I'm glad to hear that chocolate helped during the making of this album.
Yeah, lots of
But I
chocolate.
think dark chocolate would be important. I'm into dark chocolate.
Don't listen to him.
I'm into dark chocolate too, I must admit. So yeah,
Okay, bye.
We win.
we won't eat any of your chocolate.
Yeah, that's right.
I have some
Yeah.
milk chocolate bars from the hotel that you can have.
From
so
like
feel
5
free.
years ago? Oh.
No. I
Out
just
of the
stole them
hotel.
from the. I got them from the hotel. Is what I meant. But let's talk about other things,
Okay.
maybe.
Yes.
What other things are there? No, it's International Jazz Day, and we're celebrating that here with you. And I saw in your in some of the things I read about you. I mean, there isn't very much because a lot of people keep repeating the same text. But that's just an aside. That you learned in Mainz and in Miami,
Yes.
just because they both start with an M.
Yes,
or?
absolutely. No, because
that-
no, it's a kind of cooperation thing with the Hochschule in Mainz.
Wow.
So I could go there for half a year and study there. It was really a good experience. Yeah. And then I came back and thought maybe a different city than Mainz now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so you've been in Cologne
Yes.
ever since.
Yes,
And a
yeah.
vital part of that scene, right? I mean, it is a small scene,
She
but
is.
it is such a lively scene. I'm
Yes.
from a city called Hamburg, you might have heard of it, that doesn't have quite such a lively scene, even though it does have university, it does
Yes.
have lots of players, but maybe because it's larger, they don't get together that much. But
Yeah.
I've always really admired the things that are happening in Cologne. So
yeah.
you can just,
I mean, yeah, I feel the same. It's a very vital and like creative and very, very dense scene of musicians. There are just many people doing their thing and working on their thing, and just developing their sound. And that's an inspiring place to be in. Yeah,
Yes.
I'd say.
I must admit that when we were talking about it's the 15th edition of Jazz Ahead, so of course we were talking about times past, and back then it was like Robert Lampfermann and Jonas Burgwinkel were playing in every other band that was playing at the first couple of Jazz Aheads because they were just that rhythm section that played with a lot of people. And then Klang Records obviously came up, and Pablo and all of these guys. To me, that was sort of a jumping off board for the scene. But maybe, is that so?
I think
You
that's
don't have to
I think
say
that's the
if-
case.
if-
No, I think that's totally the case. I think both of us came to Cologne a little after that
Right.
kickstart to that new
Yes.
thing happened because I came there in 2012, and I think those guys revitalized the scene in Cologne. That you can, I'd say, 100% say that that's the case. And from that, lots of things happened and developed, and younger players were inspired
Yes.
by
They're
what
role
they
models.
did,
Yes.
and not only what they did musically, but this structural thing with Klang, and I think that we we should credit how much that meant for the development and the revitalization of that scene.
Yeah, I believe that's what I meant, but you put it
Yeah.
much better. Thank you very much. But you're releasing your album on Tangible Music, which is run by another musician who's very important to the scene, who's also introduced his festival here. And, Janning Truman has been, I spent a bus ride at MERS Festival with him on an empty bus and was like, I might just go back to the hotel after all the things he told me that he had planned, and that's already a couple of years back. I love him dearly. I mean, he's great, and I really think the things he's doing with the label are wonderful, and it's sort of, encouraging and inspiring for musicians to have a musician friend do his label, like playing before, to put out your music, because you probably know, well, he'll be doing the right thing. You feel in good hands.
Yes, absolutely. Janning knows everything, I think. And he's also really responsible for many good things happening in Cologne. I think he pushes very much forward. So, yeah. It's a good choice.
Pretty heavy dude.
Yeah, but I think it also has to do with the scene being sort of close together. If we look at the bands that are playing here, there are many connections. Stefan Karl Schmidt is here today with Nia K, Henrika Enzian, plus they will be having a showcase here one of these days. So there are interconnections there, I think, among the scene.
Yeah, I mean, there are many people in Cologne. Oh, sorry, but I think everyone knows each other, and it's like a little village. It doesn't seem like a big city, but there are many musicians, and all of them are connected.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, because I think the two of us play with all of the four musicians of Stefan's and Philipp's band in other bands together. So yeah, it's like, hey guys.
But it's also very varied in the music. I mean, it's mostly, I would say, on the advanced side of things, but everybody still gets to find their own voice. It's not like, I'd be hard pressed to say there's a Cologne school or something. Or do you feel that?
No, not actually. Do you feel like that?
No, I mean, I think I sometimes feel that there's certain kinds of ways of playing together that might be inspired by like a band like Pablo's Trio, or I think from that something emerged that you might call a certain sound, or how people play together. But it's pretty diverse. I think everybody can just do what he or she likes to do, and just find the right people for exactly that.
Yeah.
And yeah. That's a good
and there, at least, I was just trying to count. There are at least 4 big bands, more or less. Subway Jazz Orchestra,
Subway Jazz Orchestra,
Contemporary Jazz Orchestra. What were you just saying?
Subway Jazz Orchestra. I was saying.
Yeah. and Henrika maybe, and of course the radio big band. What are they called again? The WDR Big Band, which is doing incredible things and really reaching out on another scale, maybe internationally, but taking in from that scene. So I thought it was always great when the WDR Jazz Festival was still going on, that you had the CCJO playing and the WDR Big Band playing, and established artists from not only Miami, but other places in the States as well, and upcoming interesting new projects. So, in that spirit, it's great that you're here, and we'll make you represent the Cologne scene.
That's an honor.
Heidi, I know that you're also an educator. You're a trumpet teacher. How does that work in these times? I mean, can you really work on embouchure, or can you really work on some of the things that... I mean, I see, I learned to play the violin a long, long time ago, and I was always the guy who could, my teacher was always going, no, the hand like this, and blah, blah. And when I see you play, with that perfect pose, I go like, wow. She's really got her shit down, she knows what she's doing. But how do you convey that via Zoom?
Oh, that's not that hard.
That's the easy part.
No, no, I think the harder part is to motivate in times like these. But working on things like embouchure, breathing, whatever, is not that hard actually, because the methods we can use, and also the monitoring or whatever is really good. I can see everything So no, sorry, no. That was
I know
really
what you mean.
bad.
I know what you mean.
I mean, I can see every detail.
Yeah.
I need to see to
Yeah.
So that's really that's okay. Yeah.
And the motivation, is it different than when you have, I mean, you know, a teacher, a student might as well not put on her or his computer, but then they might not show up to the lesson. So it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
You will always have the more engaged students and the ones where you go like, well, is she coming today or maybe not?
Yeah, but my students, I think they are all really, really kind, and they want to learn something. So sometimes it happens, but not really often. So that would
It won't happen for a long time.
Not fair to say things like that.
No, sorry, I wasn't
So please.
trying to put words into your mouth.
Yes.
But I think it's interesting because this, I mean, we're doing this digitally. We're standing here a couple of feet apart, you know, and have this feeling of, Uli Beckerhoff was saying this early on, he had to learn to not embrace people, you know. You see someone, you go like, wow, that was a great gig. It's just not the same thing.
No, it's a strange feeling.
Yes, it is.
And do you still get to practice distantly with the band? How does that work?
So it got easier with the testing. So I think
we practice. I mean, that's basically what's left. What we can do is get better during these times.
Yes.
And get together and get a big room with a good, like, just with enough air in it, and test us and then rehearse. Because I think if we stop that, that would be a problem. Because not playing is a problem, and you just lose the. I don't know. I feel. Yeah, you lose something when you don't play and interact on stage, and you have to. And now's the time to. It's also a chance. Now's the time to develop things and to develop a sound and to play together. And we practice a lot together.
To work on details.
Yeah,
and
we just take the time.
Yeah, we practice together as
often as we can.
The two of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there actually more time on your hands to do that, or is that a myth?
I wonder when did I play all those gigs? It's like, because I played something like 50, 60 gigs a year, and I don't know when I did that.
Yeah, it's
the truth.
It's true, right?
Yeah.
You sometimes, I remember reading something at the very beginning, maybe in April last year. It's like, what do we do with all this time on our hands? I'm going like, what? What time? What are you talking about? I barely have time to sleep. And here, I mean, but that's how different lives are. I mean, there are some people who were laid off. There were some people who were on furlough, the Kurzarbeit, and they were suffering, but they had nothing to do. And of course, there were, you know, I could see many things on social media, people on their balcony. It's the third book I read this week. And you go like, that's the first book I started this year.
Yes, I mean, of course, there are less gigs to play, but I think all of the musicians I know, they just try to compose as much as they can to practice. They find other things, and there are many recordings happening, so everyone knows how to
to maybe to prepare ourselves for the time after. Like to
get better now.
Get better now. And I mean that having a little more time to practice. I mean, at the beginning, that's true. I had some time to come back to myself and practice again, and I thought that was great. That was the best aspect about the whole thing. So, and that taught me a lot of things. I don't want to go back to that level of running everywhere, and I want to stick to like less things and do those things like with more focus and more energy. And also both of us, I think we are also lucky because we both have teaching jobs that just went on and required even more time because we needed to organize the whole thing. And so, probably.
Yeah, I just there was a thought that has now escaped me. I think it was of course always. Do you know how always the stupid thought wins? Like when you were talking about testing, I thought it would be so easy for you guys to test with chocolate. He would put dark chocolate on your table, and the minute you go like, whoa, it's like, okay, that's it. She's negative. But
idea.
no, what I really wanted to say was that when I saw your playing down there, it's hard music. It's a lot of music, and it's not something like, you look at one thing and go like, oh, that's easy. I saw Lisa break out in a sweat. She was really lots of notes and hard and wow. But it's great, and I think that's what shows that obviously everybody's so into the music that they're making the effort of putting the time in and doing that. I have to put in one final question, and Heidi's looking at me going like, oh no, not one of these questions again.
Okay.
But what about the title? What about the Virtual League? Is that a tribute to Edward Snowden, or?
No, it's more kind of a band that can use their slots and spots to break out. So, and I hope so, kind of a league thing that everything can happen, or that's especially in these more free passages, you can just do whatever you like, and everything energetical can happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what really came across, because it wasn't that they were just tied to the music all the time.
Yes.
I was really scared for a second when I saw the music on the drums. I was like, wow, one of these days he's just going to go. But he didn't. He's a pro, so that didn't happen. And thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
And for making this happen, for traveling all the way from Cologne.
Yeah.
Are you going straight back?
Yes. But I think we.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
There's nothing to hang out. There's
Yeah,
no
we
albums
got-
to sell. No.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got to eat again now.
Yes.
I ate something before
He
the
ate
show.
1 hour before, but
Yeah. Got to get
Can
my
never
fifth
eat.
meal of the day. But after that, I think we can go.
Wow, perfect. Thank you very much, Johannes Ludwig, Heidi Bayer
Thank you.
of Virtual League, which we just saw down the first real concert today in our huge hall down there. What could have been in front of 1,700 people. It was reserved to 3, maybe.
1.7 people.
1.7 people, and also a lot of them obviously in their homes. I mean, you have people watching in their bathrooms and kitchens and offices all over the world. We had greetings from Scotland, from Jakarta, from the US, so, hello world.
hello world.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.